Moses tells us something to remember. There's no human being that is incapable of pag-ibig. There's no human being that is incapable of being merciful. There's no human being that is incapable of loving. We only choose not to love. If we look right inside our hearts, we have this inherent power. It's not far from us. We know what is good. We know what is evil. The first reading is all about a reminder to us that we don't need anyone to teach us how to be merciful. You don't need anyone to teach you how to be compassionate. Because if you put a pin on your skin, you check if it is painful or not. Of course, Jesus told the story of the Good Samaritan as a response to the lawyer who was asking, who is my neighbor? We should stop asking, who is my neighbor? We should begin to ask, am I a good neighbor? When you look through the readings, you see faith and love. If we say we have faith, we have to show our faith through our practical love. It's not enough to say I have faith. Faith, yes, a supernatural gift from God. But if we have faith, we demonstrate our faith through our love for one another. In the story of the Good Samaritan, there are four characters, four actors. The first one is the priest. The second one is the Levite. The third one is the man who was wounded. And who is the fourth one? The Good Samaritan. If we take this one by one, the four of them one by one, the priest is not supposed to touch corpse. Any dead body in the book of Leviticus, a priest was not supposed to touch a dead body. Why? Because the dead body will make the priest unclean. But I don't know why the Levite did not go near to that man. We don't know why. The priest, yes, was not supposed to touch the corpse. Number one. Number two, maybe he was going for temple worship. He was going to be late. Imagine you're coming for the last mass on Sunday and you met an accident on the way. You saw an accident victim on the way. Are you supposed to come for the mass? Because we believe that, we are taught that if you don't attend mass on Sunday, it's a mortal sin. It's a mortal sin not to attend mass on Sunday because it is a disobedience to God. Because it means putting something first instead of God. That's why it's a mortal sin. But you are coming to mass because when I mention the four of them, you begin to see yourself. I begin to see myself in each of them. You're coming to mass, the final mass, and if you don't attend the mass, it's going to be a mortal sin for you. Which one are you going to do? Take care of the one who is in need or come to the mass? The right thing to do is to take care of the person who is in need, because every time we are showing practical love is a way of worshiping God. Why are we here? We are here to worship God. But every charity we do, every good thing we do is a way of worshiping God. The priest had a presumption. That's another part of the story. The priest thought that this man was dead already. The Levite did not touch this man because he's not supposed to touch blood. Both of them were very religious, but they had the wrong priority. There are many times we see those who are suffering, but we are afraid of helping the person. Maybe the police will come to us to ask us questions. There are many times we see those who are really in danger, but we are afraid because of what we heard that strangers did to their hosts. I'm sure you know about strangers who were brought into the family and they destroyed the family. You brought someone into your family because you wanted to help her. but she took your husband away from you. You brought someone into your family because you wanted to help him, but he impregnated all your daughters. You brought someone into your family because you wanted to help him, but all your money got missing. Many people have helped people and they got into problems. That's why many do not want to help. But what Jesus is teaching us today, dear brothers and sisters, is it is not enough to say, oh, I'm sorry, you are passing through this. No, it's not enough to say that. If we see someone who is suffering, the best thing we can do is not just to say, oh, I pity you. No, after I say I pity you, what practical thing did I do to make sure that your pains are taken care of? It's not enough to say, oh, I am sympathetic. Because this whole story is about compassion. What does compassion mean? Compassion means feeling the pains of the next person. I don't know if you saw the picture that went viral recently about a driver in one of the food chains. I don't want to mention the name. But we don't know what happened. But the fact is that the driver was squatting under the signpost, waiting for the boss to finish eating inside. That sometimes you are eating in the food chains and you see someone knocking, but we have 10 pesos, we have 20 pesos to share with the person, but you do like that. Go away, I'm taking my lunch. Many of us have done this. The priest and the Levite, they walk past. This man may have been the cause of his problem. Many times we don't want to help people because we are judging their moral responsibility. Because your daughter made a mistake and got pregnant, so you throw her away. Because your son made a mistake and became an alcoholic, an addict, you throw him away. Because someone made a mistake, as a human being, you throw the person away. Oh, come on. Is there anyone here who does not make mistakes? Let me tell you about this man. The road, for those who have visited the ancient Near East, those who have gone to Israel, the road between Jerusalem and Jericho is very koyawan, very dangerous. That man was not supposed to pass through that road alone. People were not allowed to pass through that road alone because robbers is a notorious road. But the Good Samaritan is good because he did not blame that man. What is important is helping those who are in need. It's not about blaming someone who have made a mistake. This is how we act many times. You see someone who made a mistake, you don't know if the person is feeling guilty or regretting. You don't know what is going on in the person's mind, but you pour salt into the injury by blaming the person. The energy we use to blame those who made mistakes, why can't we use the same energy to give them a helping hand? Two wrongs will never make one right. That man may have made a mistake going through that road with a lot of money. But if we begin to judge one another for those who are morally right or wrong, no. If your son have made a mistake, show love. If your daughter made a mistake, show her love. It's not by throwing her out or throwing him out. That's not the best way to solve the problem. That man made a mistake going through that road alone. But the Good Samaritan is good, even though he was not a Jew, but he was good. By the way, Samaritans were considered as outcasts, outsiders. But he was the one who showed concern. How do I feel the pains of the people around me? Am I afraid of helping people? Do I stop helping people because of what other people will say? Many of us are not doing good because of what other people will say. Don't live your life based on what people will say. If you begin to live your life based on the opinions of the people around you, you are living an inauthentic life. If you are living your life based on what people are going to say, not because you are doing it because it is the right thing to do, then that's an immature way of living. This man gave first aid. He gave his money. He gave his time. He took care of this wounded man. There are many of us who are wounded. This man was left by the roadside. Pope Francis spoke about those who are in the periphery. It's not just about those who are physically in the periphery. There are those who are psychologically in the periphery. There are those who are emotionally in the periphery. There are those who are mentally in the periphery. There are those who are financially in the periphery. How do we extend helping hand to them? Let us ask the Lord. Remember these three things. Number one, our neighbor is any human being who is in need. It's not about whether the person is a Filipino or African or European or American. No. Every human being created in the image of God is our kapitbahay. And we are, invited today to help.